What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel and to the next episode in our earbuds saga. So today is the day in which we are starting to rendering this thing that we constructed over a few weeks or over a few videos. Um, if you want to see how I constructed this, then please go ahead and check my videos that I've done previously to see how you can construct it in CAD. But yeah, today the main focus, or I think most of the focus, will be only on how to render this, how to render CAD, and I'm thinking to do something special today. We are going to use Twinmotion. Yes, Twinmotion to render CAD. Um, I'm quite positive that there are not many videos, or maybe mine will be one of the first videos that will explain how to use Twinmotion in conjunction with Solidworks. And I consider this very useful to, or handy, I want to say, to know how to use it because Solidworks is quite capable. It's not as capable as it would be, let's say, Corona render in terms of realism or of flexibility of what you can do, but still to be able to achieve images in just a few seconds, quite realistic images with a huge database of materials behind that you can employ, or 3D assets or even 3D scan assets, which are for free from Quixel. That is quite a powerful tool. So yes, we can start having CAD renders, very nice CAD renders, um, in seconds instead of minutes or even hours. So I have prepared this model here from last time by updating a few bits, such as I created a black body just so that I'm sure that after we import the model, um, things are not going to be visible inside. So this will be completely black. Introduce some of more stubborn fillets that were difficult to implement last time, and that's kind of it. Not really much from the past video, so you didn't really lose much between last video and this video. Especially that I already explained all the stuff that I know about how to create it, so I'm sure you can arrive easily to the same results or very similar results. So this is SolidWorks, right? And this is Twinmotion. Now, how do we get the data through? We get the data through using an add-on for SolidWorks. I think the add-on is done by the Epic company, Epic Games, right? Which is called Datasmith. I installed the add-on and things should be quite straightforward. Now I did play just a little bit before with the add-on so that you're not going to waste your time seeing me trying to get the things from one software to another. But there are a few things that are important to say while we try to import it. I believe that there will be very useful for you as well if you will try to do the same things. So first important thing is we don't have like an export button for SolidWorks to go into Twinmotion. So it's not straightforward. You will not see documentation over the internet, at least I didn't find. So what I'm going to tell you today will be really my trial and error, conclusions from my trial and error. So you don't have a button which you could click and say export to Twinmotion. However, in Twinmotion, you have a button import, but again, you don't have a button that is obvious, which you could say, okay, I can click this button and I import whatever model I have in SolidWorks. So the way it works, first of all, you need to toggle auto sync that you have in here. So after you install the add-on for SolidWorks called Datasmith, you can toggle auto sync, and in this way it will be synchronizing. It will make the bridge automatically. Right, it looks like after I'm turning it on, it takes some time to actually, you know, unfreeze it. And then in here, in Twinmotion, you will have direct link. So you have geometry, the usual stuff that for example, I was using in the past, and whatever landscape point, but you also have a direct link. And in the direct link, there is a SolidWorks direct link. Now, another important thing to know, in the option, you have to choose keep hierarchy, especially if you do not have materials applied to every single object. So the way that Twinmotion works is based on, I think, material ID. So if you have the same material ID, then it will import, even if you have a few objects, the Twinmotion will recognize them as one single object. Now, for you to know, this is the first time I'm doing this, so it's nothing planned. I don't have an idea or a plan about what kind of an image, or I didn't do it before, so it is quite free session, I would say. While I'm trying to arrive to something interesting, rendering all this, and in the same time to learn. And by me learning or by explaining all the stuff, hopefully it will be useful for you as well. So yeah, please bear with me. Not sure if I will achieve something truly remarkable, but at least you can be sure I will do my best to do so. So now going back to the option, yeah. So keep your hay. I choose full precision UV. This is already ticked, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. I didn't try without precision UVs, but I know how the UVs are created for CAD, so I prefer to leave it full precision UVs. Full precision normals. Let me see process. Yeah, I can leave it all. We don't have lights or anything like that. Enable substitution. I don't want to enable any substitution, and that's it. So now it will import. While it is importing, another thing that it may be useful to know is that having a direct link to SolidWorks, it should work. It should create the bridge easily. So if you introduce new shapes or anything like that, and I will try today. Hopefully, if we have time, you should be able to see them directly in Twinmotion afterwards. I'm not going to go through how to use Twinmotion. I use it long time in the past to make a few videos. It's quite straightforward. For sure you can learn it in one day. I learned it in one day, and I'm sure I'm not the best learner in the world. Right, so we have it already. So we have already our object, but obviously it's not visible. I do leave Twinmotion with the default screen because I don't want to get into any complications of let's create a separate scene, bespoke scene, or anything like that. Just start with the simple stuff and try to introduce something that is nice into the scene with the model that we have, and explaining whatever I'm doing while I'm doing. So we have the sphere. I'm going to hide the sphere, and let's see where our object is, because I don't see it. I suspect it's small, but if I'm going in here and I'm saying zoom to selection, there you go. You will be able to find the object. So yes, it is a very, very small object. Even the zoom is going way, way too far. So what I'm going to do in the beginning, I'm just going to enlarge it just to have just to be easier to navigate around. I don't want to fiddle a lot of time, zoom in, zoom out, and all that kind of stuff, just so that I can see what on earth I am importing. Yeah. So this is our object, and there you go. It's, yeah, CAD directly live onto the session. In SolidWorks, it should have a few million polygons, a few million triangles, or, well, double the amount of triangles and the polygons, isn't it? But oops, this, yeah, still zooming in is difficult because the object is fairly small. I wonder if in the option anywhere I'm having in preferences the scale, for example, unit system, yeah. So I am in meters, yeah. So that's why it is small. So I will keep it in meters for now. I'm not going to redo all this, but most probably you will be able to solve the issue of having the object so small by adjusting Twinmotion import to centimeters or millimeters if it has the option, because my SolidWorks was in millimeters, as any engineer should have in my perspective. But anyway, so yeah, this is it. That's how simple it is to import the CAD. If we may take a very close look, it looks very, very good. I mean, all the surfaces as we constructed are looking as we expected to look, really. So nothing too fancy. We do have some defects in here. If we look onto this object, yeah, if I click Z, no, it's not. I'm trying to figure out if I'm having, no, I'm not having a button for zoom. I don't know yet, but let's zoom to the selection. Yeah, so it looks like the normals are inverted. That's okay, I think. We can try to solve that in SolidWorks, or we may be able to solve it directly with the software. These days, almost any software is having a way to invert the normals of the objects that that you can import. So I'm expecting Twinmotion to be the same. Right. So let's apply some materials to this thing. Okay, let's try to do something with it. So into the materials tab, we need to have some colors. So if I'm going to my computer and I just want to get the picture to see. Okay, so it's all kind of gray with a very um, with a chrome part in here. We have a decal kind of stuff, but we're not going to take care of that today. So let's see, let's search for I want something like a metallic paint, shiny thing, but I want to have something gray. So just going to car paint, not pearl, gray. Which kind of gray do we have? We have like a gray towards blue in there, yeah. So initially I'm trying to see if I can find some cold gray, if we can call it like that. But if not, we will just get, yeah, silver should be all right. And there you go. And this is really that easy. You just drag the materials onto whatever you need. Yeah. Then I know this part is black. Yeah. So we could get some shiny black as well, like from the thing for the cars. By the way, if you notice, there you go. That's how nice the reflections are. How can I make this zoom to be a little bit less annoying? There you go. If I click Alt or hold Alt while I zoom, it is a bit better. But there you go. It is that good to the import. It is truly amazing how nicely it preserves the details of SolidWorks. It's even better than 3ds Max. Um, maybe I will make a video about how to use it in 3ds Max and use Corona render to render this to make a render of the same object. but from what I saw until now, I can tell you it's better than 3ds Max. So let's try to get a black car paint, and I would press Ctrl Z, and I do want to apply it to this object that annoyingly we cannot select. So let's try to see which one is it in here, because we have the normals inverted. We can barely select it. So can we apply to this? Almost there. Okay, so we still have the problem that it is inverted, but I'm not going to get to it, not just yet. And then we have a chrome. Do we have some chrome in here as materials? Let's see. Yeah, so we have a matte chrome. Do we have something like shiny chrome? Some very, very chromy thing. Come on, let's see. A microphone mesh, that's interesting. So we have a matte chrome that we could use and modify to get to whatever we need. Or we can try with silver. Let's try with the matte chrome initially, and we can see if we can modify it afterwards. All right, let's see for the black body if we can search for anything that is black. Plastic, yeah. So some black plastic. So we could use rubber. Yeah, let's use rubber, and we can always modify this rubber. Okay, so in there we put things that are black, and here we can put fine grain type of plastic or brushed. I need to download this one. Let's download it first. No, I don't like it. Rubber rough. Still need to download this one too. And let's see. No, still white. Okay, so I'm not going to fiddle with this anymore. Can see a foam in there too. That's tempting. No, I'm just going to keep it like that, and just adjust colors and stuff to this, to the materials that we have already. Right, so I do like the color of this thing in here. So let's try to get the color picker and try to influence the color of this. So we have something similar to what we have in the image. So if I go back to the image, so it's more like grayish kind of thing and darker and towards blue. So let's try to get it more gray and more towards blue. That's too much green in there. I have RGB and stuff, but I don't have like very fine adjustments for this, so I will have to do with what I have. It doesn't matter if the color is a little bit off anyway, because we're not aiming for perfection in here. We are aiming to learn. So all right, so I'm going to keep this kind of gray in here. Now let's see how we can apply the same. Okay, so I can drag the material in here. That's clever enough. I can drag the same material that I have in there and put it all over onto the other bits as well. So that's cool. That's nice. That's really, really nice. Right, so let's see what else do we have in here. So we have this chrome in here that we need to take care of to make it be very shiny chrome. Right, so Twinmotion is functioning with chrome being as a white, having a white color as diffuse, not black. Not sure who is using black these days, but anyway. So metalness 100%. Let's see, roughness, there you go. So I want roughness. How much of a roughness I want? 0, because it is really, really shiny. No, I don't want to restart the computer now. So can we do something a little bit less shiny? Yes, we can. So that's perfectly fine. There you go. So now we have the, yeah, I can see some bits in here that are not necessarily translated 100%. You will see when when you start to zoom in quite a lot into details. Yeah, you will see that they're not everything so super perfect, but hopefully during the render it will be all right. And look, it's a free software. If you render in 2K, it takes seconds to make a render, so definitely you can have animations quite fast. With a decent video card, so you don't need to spend a fortune on the computer to have all this. So it's really, really cool that that these days we can do anything like this. So if it has some defects here and there, I wouldn't be too bothered about it. All right. So here we have the chromie bits. Everything looks just fine. And let's see, so we have here our rubbery kind of thing, which how do we want? Do we want to be completely black? Still black, but we still want to be again towards blue, so that at least will match a bit better with this. So if I'm copy the color from here, can I copy the color? Store. Yes, thank you. So if I store that color and I get in here, I can apply the same color. That's great. So that's still that's good, because that means we have the same tone. So now we can just go lower in value so that we are sure we can keep the colors accordingly. All right, so that's that. All right, so we have some stuff for the UVs and scales and all that. That's good. I don't think we need metalness. Maybe a bit. Okay. No, okay. I will leave it as it is. Now, next bit. This one, the one that is giving us problems. Okay. So let's see. All right, so here we have the color, but let's try to see how we can solve the normals. So let me see. Do we have anything in here? Roughness, flakes, orange peel, X-ray. All right, cool. So we do. We have two-sided, yeah. So instead of going back into SolidWorks and doing some modifications and importing back or whatever, we have a two-sided option, which is great, because that means that if we click on the two-sided, we will be able to see the object correctly, and we don't need to take care of the normals. Okay, so that's good. That's good. Good. That Twinmotion did take care of this. I'm still keeping SolidWorks open just in case we need to, I don't know, add any kind of materials or anything like that. Right, so we have that being completely black, but I don't like that. I don't see anything. Yeah, if we look at the image in here, it's not quite black. It's actually quite matte. Yeah, it's not it's not shiny. It's on the contrary, so it's quite rough. So let's increase the roughness of this thing. Yeah, I can see we have some options for the paint, even more options for the paint. We can remove the flakes from this thing, and orange peel, we don't want that either. Okay, so it looks like we need to increase I think we got the wrong material, isn't it? Let's see what's going on in here. I think I modified the wrong material. So if I click back, no, it is the right material. So why is it in two parts? Okay, let's try to get something that is rough and oh yeah, let's get the same material from here and let's put it there. Again, having it with a two-sided type of material. There. So now it should be, yeah, it is far better. Yeah, my apologies, it's quite jumpy because I think, can we modify some in the options in the preferences how much should is going to zoom in and zoom out? Let's say gizmo, angle snap, whatever, mouse, anything, use relative mouse. No, but since we are here, yeah, everything is on ultra as quality. That's good. That's good. Okay. And menus at 100%. All right. So let's go back to the material in here and let's try to. Okay. No, not that material. This material, please. And let's increase the color. Don't want to be that black. And let's see, we have some reflections in there. Do I want to have it completely rough? Almost, but then I do want to have it a bit darker. Yeah, I think something like this is more than enough. Let's see, how is it visible in there? Okay, yeah, so it is that easy. Well, that easy when you dealt with the software in the past and you have an idea about different ways of renderings and stuff. But hey, look, that's how we learn, yeah? So we have that black in there. I don't like this black in here. It's completely rough and I don't like the idea. So I'm just going and play a little bit more with this guy here. Maybe I can do something about subsurface scattering. We don't have subsurface scattering, I believe, in Twinmotion, but something that would be similar to that. I'm thinking, what is this grunge thing? I have to read about what that option is in there. Let's see, what do we have in here? So we have saturation, gamma, gains, and stuff like that. Okay, so more fine-tuning things in there for the colors. That's great. UVs, okay, so that would be useful at some point, but that's kind of it, and roughness. So we don't really have, yeah, being quite a dumb material, we don't have anything in it like translucency or anything like that. But maybe we can play with the roughness and make it a little bit less rough, so that it's not so in the eye. by comparison with the other material. And now, because it's so shiny, I think I can increase a little bit the colors. It's the same material, it's a copy, that's fine. I don't mind to have them the same. All right, so definitely I like them more like this. Okay, let me save this project first. Earphones, Twinmotion. First scene, earbuds, render. Okay. So that's it. That's it for the materials and stuff. It's that simple. Now, this is the scene that we have. Okay, so it's massive, which in my perspective is good. And we just want to make a few renders like you see in the magazines with the object, right? So I would say the first things first. What do we need? Well, we need to remove this pedestal thing. We need to remove this. I just hide them just in case I may ever need anything like that. I see some markings in there. I don't know what are those, I think. I hope I can select them. Yes, graphics. Okay, cool. And yeah, I just want to put this on the ground. I leave the scale for now the same as it is because I don't have any other objects in the scene anyway. Now what I do want to do is first of all I want to update this material that I have on the ground so that in case we will use it with the natural light that we have, at least we can we don't see those lines, you know. So let's see, do we have anything in here like a texture or anything like that? Yes, we do have. Right, let's go into the library and see if we can have something like sand things. Brickstones, wood, metal, ground. There you go, ground, man-made nature. Okay, so we have some ground in here. Desert sand, wavy sand, some flat sand kind of thing, hopefully. Dirt, no. Okay, well, let's try to apply a wavy sand. And as a scale, we reduce the scale just so that we don't see things weirdly in case we will ever need to use, or in case we have those lines. I'm curious, if we have those lines, do we have anything reflecting as lines on the surface of this? Yes, so definitely we need a different material. I don't want that sand, I want something that is kind of flat. Right, right. Let's see. Maybe we can actually remove the texture from the sand, or maybe we can remove the texture from this thing. Can we? Texture. I can see the texture. Okay. Can we not use the texture? Copy paste default. If we use default, nope. So it is allowing me to get a texture, but it's not allowing me to actually remove it. Of course, I can reduce the scale or whatever. I can increase the scale, but still, that's a bit weird. Okay, so I can have some grunge in it. Huh, interesting. And if I choose default, yeah, it's showing no texture, but then I can still see some lines. Yeah, but it's not that bad. I mean, I can use this. It may be literally the geometry of this, since I have no texture applied, and I still, yeah, of course, and I still have this. But then, yeah, okay, but then we can increase the scale. So in this way, we can kind of get rid of the lines. And in this way, we have some sort of a flat thing, but no, I still don't like it. Okay, so let's try to apply again something simple, very simple, like literally one color modeling. Let's see, what do we have in modeling? So we have some clay, and we have some other clay that is like a dumb material. Okay, that's great. So we can work with that. So what do we want now? We want something, since everything is in blue, you know what, let's keep everything like white. No, I want it towards yellow. Something towards yellow. Maybe something like this. Still like a kind of a desert thing, but yeah, that's better. That's far better. I can increase the roughness of this. It's already increased. That's great. Let's see if maybe a slightly different color. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go towards white kind of thing. Okay. All right, let's see if we can duplicate this time. Okay, so we don't have duplicate, but we have copy. And I should be able to say paste here. Instance. Yes, please. Alrighty. So, you know, every time you see this kind of stuff, they are presented always like together somewhere on a flat plane, whatever. So we can play with this model and you know, arrange the models so that they look kind of interesting together. Maybe rotate them a little bit in different directions. So let's imagine that we actually try to put this on the ground somewhere, and it is going to be something like that. There. Okay. If I press Z, Z looks like Z is showing like local coordinates. Interesting. I still don't have a way to zoom to selection right away. I'm sure it's somewhere in the on the internet you will be able to find out quite easily how to zoom to selection as a shortcut. I don't know it just yet. Okay, so that's one. I want to put something like that. And now let's see the other one. How can this be presented? Well, something like this. Well, it should be a symmetry of this, isn't it? If I think about, it's not going to work if it is just So if can I zoom in a, okay, I cannot zoom on a negative scale, so that means I cannot make the symmetry. Right, right. So that's the first thing that probably we will need to see. Let's see if we can have anything in here that can actually help us make a symmetry of this object without going back into SolidWorks. If we need to go back, then we go back. But is there any way? And no, it isn't. All right, so then let's delete this. Let's go back to SolidWorks. And let's see, how can we do this fast so that we don't lose a lot of time? So I could make the symmetry, or no, we still need to make the symmetry. So let's make the symmetry really fast, and then we can open the thing. Right. So I will go into the assembly, insert, new assembly. Okay. Let's call it symmetry, sim from symmetry. Right, edit the assembly. I want this from here, copy, Control V, and it should work nicely in here. Control V. And now I am going to open this one up. And let's see, while I'm in this thing, I should have in a direct edit some symmetry options so that I can apply right away. Yes, I am editing everything in here. That's correct. Linear pattern, circular, mirror components. Yes, thank you. Mirror plane. Well, it is the right one. And now components, all of them. And the black body. There. I should be able to. Okay, that's interesting. Probably I didn't select on which axis I'm doing the symmetry. No, I did. So right plane, components to mirror. Okay, and then what? I need to select which one. So I just want to be in mirror, nothing more than that, please. Cannot create a position on a component without a solid body. Okay, interestingly. Okay, align to selection, align to selection. Okay, now it should be right. Select the value to align the orientation axis. Align to reference. Okay. All right. So it looks like it will not be so straightforward. Have to see what's the deal. How we can make the symmetry in a normal way. So mirror again, mirror plane. Let's take it step by step. Ah, okay, so I want it to be in there. Ah, now I remember what the problem is. Yeah, okay. Okie dokie, so it's not going to work easily like that. So what we can do, by the way, is Twinmotion updated with the new kind of components? Oh, there you go. So now it is updated, I suppose, with what I have in here. With, yeah, that's not good. It is updating it if I'm starting to make things. I think I know. It is updating it based on the window of SolidWorks that I am in. So if I was into this one, I should have SolidWorks now probably updating it in there. Okay, but still retaining the details anyway, so it's not that bad. Right. Well, we can try to do to solve um, the symmetry next time, or until next time I can sort out the symmetry in a normal way. I will have to get it by components. Okay, component by component, and I'm not going to waste your time now with it, so I'm just going to not save this. Don't save. Yeah, and I'm just going to leave this as it is. All right, bear with me for just one moment. Okay, so where has it disappeared? All right, so let's do it with one of them, and just to have a render and to see how it looks like, and then we can next time figure out, I mean, we can have the symmetry and do the rest. Right, so it did updated everything, which I don't like. So I clicked again on the link to update everything, and everything is small again. And the materials are starting to be quite big. So that's not nice. And now I don't have it anymore into the origin, so that's also another thing that is not nice. I guess if I select the parts, for example, okay, I understand what happened in there. Okay, so let's get this then. Let's put it here onto the ground, and again make it. Okay, so it did updated. Good. All right, so it's a bit tricky, but still all right, still manageable. So that's great, even if you update and all that. Right, so let's continue. So what we were saying, we are having this part around here. I am going to close SolidWorks this time. Yeah, I don't want to save anymore. Twinmotion should remain with the part in it without any problems. So let's rotate the part just a tiny bit. Let's put it onto the ground. Yeah, something like this. And yeah, let's try to do something like we see in the newspapers, some kind of a cool image. I am going, however, to duplicate this just to have it for yeah, instance, just to have it for next time when we try to do the other render. I did click something that managed. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we will want to put them in such a way so that it's not so very annoying that they are not actually symmetrical and it's difficult to realize that they aren't. What's going on in here? Okay, it was just a reflection. So in some way that it could look natural, yeah. So maybe something like that. And what we usually have, right? We usually have some surfaces in which we put the model and we make the render some rough surfaces, maybe like a stone or like a table or whatever. So we'll try to do something like that. Just checking the time in here. Yeah, almost there. Almost done. By the way, before continuing, just a little bit of advert from my side. If you are interested into one-to-one or even group coaching for CAD design or rendering, just give me a text over the email or make a comment in the comment section on YouTube. And yeah, I'm offering coaching for CAD design and rendering. So if you are interested, please do not hesitate to contact me. And now, since our commercials have ended, the commercials that are looking so simple, because I don't have time for anything more fancy, we can try to see how we can use some assets that could be very useful. Yeah, so I'm thinking to use the mega scans, which are free for Twinmotion. There is a trick with them, however. You don't have 8K resolutions for the textures, or at least last time when I checked, they weren't. So that means that anything that you will use, stones or whatever, rocks, yeah, well, cannot really zoom in very much, but still, it's free. So if it's not 8K, just make it smaller, multiply it a few times. So let's try to get some sandstone, something that is interesting as a texture to have around and to insert our lovely earphones, yeah. So let's see, our earphones are quite small. So being quite small, we can afford to get some interesting rocks and use them as like a platform. Let's see, do we have a preview of these things in here? We don't. Okay, let's try with this one that is yellow. Amazingly, it's downloading quite fast, but failed to parse. Why? Create sub container. Do I need to be active in this? Let's see, is there anything that we need to do so that we can, or maybe we can try with something else? That's interesting that for some reason, okay, let's say first, set active. Let's try to make it as an active container in there. That's interesting. It may be a bug or it may be that asset. Let's try with something else. Maybe it works. If not, we will have to use different things. So let's see, something that is fairly flat. I was amazed of how fast this thing, oh, I think I know what's happening because it was downloading quite fast. So I suspect that actually it's still downloading and we need to wait quite some time, despite here it's showing it like done, is downloaded. Oh no, actually no, it was only that thing. Okay, interesting. Don't know why that asset had a problem. Maybe something interesting for people from Quixel to have a look into. Right, so I'm just position this around, yeah, so something like this. Yeah, it looks quite all right. Yeah, I mean it does have nice details to it. I can say that. Maybe I could use some other details because we are going to go quite um, quite close to this rock, so maybe we can add some more details to this so that we are not regretting. Well, what did I say earlier? Just make it smaller and make a duplicate, isn't it? So let's do just that. Can I duplicate by holding shift? Yes. Awesome. Instance. Yes, that's great. So let's make a few duplicates, position them differently, just creating something in here so that we can put our earphones on. So that is not, empty. But come on, is that no? Yeah, okay. But anyway, it's really nice that we can, there you go. So no, it's not. It's really nice that we have this stuff from Twinmotion because we can use them freely. It's very nice. Yeah, and trust me, it is very nice. I was paying for them. So I paid quite a fortune to have them when Twinmotion did not have the assets for free. So I was paying to have the assets for different software, but still. But they are 8K, so the ones that I have are already 8K. Maybe if you are interested to make a tutorial on how to use these assets plus whatever, not whatever, plus Corona render on how to create nice images for CAD design as well, do leave me a comment into the comment sections. All right, so I'm looking now for some angles because we are nearly done with the session today. Just some angles around. By the way, how cool is that? Yeah, rendering, rotating CAD in real time with this kind of effects and illumination. It's really awesome. I mean, not sure what else can I actually ask from it. Well, apart from having caustics and other kind of effects. But anyway, I'm looking for some cool angles of the earphones. Something that would look similar to the image that we have on on that picture before taking the shot, or yeah, creating the camera. Oops, everything goes so fast. So let's see. All right, so I still don't like something in here. I don't like that everything is like, so So maybe I can, yeah, hide a little bit the fact that they are not yet symmetrical, all of them. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's cool. So I can do something similar to that. Or I can take this from here and yeah, put it in here. I do want to have a part of the rock nicely in here. And I do want to have the render with close up and with depth of field. So yeah, it will take some time until we find a nice angle from which we can have also a depth of field. So we have something like that, which is great. So now we just need to put the other earphone, the other earbuds somehow in a way so that they don't necessarily look like they aren't symmetrical. Yeah, so something like that until we will have the symmetry thing. I could put them like that, but it's quite distracting. So if I put them like that, so we can see them on both sides, right? Yeah, I think that's kind of it. If what do I miss from this scene? I'm thinking I miss some water, or I miss, yes, I know what I miss. So what I miss is a few more Quixel assets to put around. So while this is downloading, I'm going to create a shot in here so that I am returning to it. And let's see, which one did I take? So I take this one. Let's create this one in here. And let's put it in a way so that we are starting to cover the image around, yeah. So I hold down shift. I'm going to multiply this thing a few times. I'm keep clicking E keyboard on the keyboard because I am used with the 3ds Max interface. So yeah, so I want something like this, but not too drastic. I want details, but I don't want to distract us from our main object, our main stuff, which are the earphones, right? Yeah, and I did the mistake in here, but I'm not going to do anything yet, anything else yet. Let's see, what else do I want? Yeah, I will want these ones too. Let me get a sip of coffee. So I want that one and this one. I know already the assets because I already made videos with them for 3ds Max in the past. So okay, so I bet this one is quite a big one. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's cool. It's still useful because yeah, it's the it's an entire landscape in here. That's very good thing to have actually because you can fill the canvas quite nicely so that we don't need to worry that things are invisible. And which one I took? Also this one in here, which shouldn't be too big. Yeah, so something like that. Okay. Maybe in here, maybe rotating it just a tiny bit. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, and I do like this thing in here, but yeah, we need a little bit of blending in the colors. Okay, so let me hold the shift and scale it up for a bit more, and we lose the details. If we do that, that's fine. We can play a little bit here with the details, so we can still retain some of the details. Okay, so this one already became problematic, so I can scale it up just slightly, and I can put it down there. Okay, so that's looking good in there. Already looking quite all right. Yeah, so we can blend them in such a way so that you don't realize that they are not from the same thing. Anyway, after that we will adjust the lighting and all that, so you know it's not going to be a pain to make this shot. Right, so now we covered all the canvas, the screen. But I like to have a bit more details like this. All right, so now it's good. Now it starts to look really, really cool. And we have the shot in here, which is great. So we have this shot, and we can try and have something more like a close-up shot, for example, in which we can do against like a rock. Oops, there you go. So we can discover some of the things that needs adjustment. So we can put these things in here. So let's try again. Yeah, so something like this, where we can see some nice transitions. No, actually here we can see some nice transitions. Okay, let's try. I don't like the fact that I have the environment completely empty and stuff, but okay, let's try it like that. All right, so we have this. Let's start with this shot then. So do this one in here. What do we want? So not going to enter into the environment, not just yet. I don't like the fact that it's completely lit, but onto the camera, well, yeah, I'm not going to update the focal length too much. Depth of field, yes, I do want a bit of depth of field so that it goes not so clear around. Maybe it works, maybe not. Let's try and play with the aperture. I never like more than 5 for bokeh shape. Camera effects, vignetting. Yeah, let's do some vignetting because we do like that. I do want lens flare. I do not want clipping. And I want to keep it in real time as a render. I don't want the path tracer. It's good path tracer, but yeah, we have Twinmotion, so why on earth would I want to wait minutes for an image when I can have it in seconds? But you get more precision with path tracer, so it's not like you lose everything. But for now, this is looking quite awesome as it is. Right, and let's see what do we have in effects. We have some filter saturation. Maybe we can try a bit of the saturation. or maybe a little bit of less saturation. Yeah, I like less saturation and a little bit of contrast. Yeah, good. Now let's go to the environment and let's play a little bit with the shadows around so that we have some nice cool things, something that can complement our earphones, but that is not completely lit. Yeah, nice to good to have shadows. Let's try time of the day. Let's try something like in the morning, or maybe in the afternoon. No, I don't like the afternoon. It's going to completely obliterate it is obliterating the colors, right? Let's see, can we, sun intensity, sun size. Okay, sun size is useful. I'm just thinking to choose a rotation of the sun. Ah, there you go. So I can choose the rotation. Yeah, so let's try a different rotation for our sun. I do want to capture some glare effect. That's what I'm aiming here, really, to have some interesting lighting, but to also capture some nice glare onto the earphones and have some cool shapes. Well, some shapes that are actually visible because we have details on them, so it would be such a shame not to be able to not to have nice shapes. Okay, so now we have auto exposure. I don't want to click that. I don't like the idea of letting a software to get the exposure for me. Okay, so I want to be in the morning, nice elongated shadows, but I will rotate the sun to see if I can get something from those shapes. Not really. Yeah, so I will keep it back at somewhere like around 10. I do want to see those nice shapes in there. I will leave it like that for now. And let's see what else can we have. So sun size is going to make yeah, the reflections a little bit yeah, it will be a little bit sharper. So I will say 1. Some reflection, I put it to the max. Ambient, yeah, so usually the ambient is increasing the visibility of the objects in the shadow. Just a tiny bit, so not a lot, but not completely dark either. That's not a good idea. And now let's play a little bit with the white balance. So I want for this to be towards yellow, and these are cool colors, yeah, so we can leave them like that. Let's see, fog. If you saw my renders, you know that I love God rays. No wind spin, no wind direction. We don't really have much to control the fog anymore like in the past, but it will be useful later on when we do the shot, the close-up shot. All right, so that's, for example, it. Now, if we try to maybe, let me update this. Okay, more exposure then, please, and refresh. Yeah, okay. So we can try to place some water. Try to do that, because in this way we may achieve some some more interesting things, given that this is, for example, quite a few rocks in there. So if we have a bit of water, we can make it a little bit more interesting. Not sure if I can I can, yeah. So I can just make it bigger by dragging these arrows around. Just as a last thing before we click render, to have some reflections around and to let people know that, well, actually these are some stones and we have some water around, just to make it a bit more interesting. Right, now if I go to the water, how do I arrive back to the water? Yes, materials. So if I go back to, okay, how can I go back to the water thing? So water cube, okay, pull 2, pull 3, but where is my material? Do we have any other waters around? No, we have some particles and stuff. Right, so I think it will work faster instead of a water cube to have just a plane. Plane 100 meters, plane 10 meters. 10 meters should be just fine. And just put some water on it in the materials. Library materials, let's see, water. Yeah, there you go. That's a bit better. Because having material, we can always adjust the material that we have. Interestingly, it doesn't allow me to just there. Okay, so that's far better. So we can play with this and see if we can do anything about it to look interesting. Nah, it's going to take quite some time for just some water. So I'm going to give up on the idea of water just for now, and just so that we can finish for today. And let me see the timing. Yeah, just 1 hour and 18 minutes. So not too bad. Why? Let's render this. So in the render, what is here? Yes, image. So we click on the image. We don't want path tracer. We just want real time. Image 1. It looks weird that is not updated. Let's try to update it now. There. We need to update it. Okay. I usually just select a JPEG, or if you fancy modifying some bits, then you can select an EXR to have more information onto it, and that's kind of it. Now, what I do want the refinement to be high. I do want to have max lighting. Yeah, and that's kind of it, really. I mean, from here you can just go export, go somewhere on the desk. No, I go on the desktop just because I want to do it fast. And yeah, in a few seconds we should have the image on the desktop, just as we see it in here. And we can have a look. Let's see how much. 11 seconds. Well, 11 seconds per frame. We can do animations with it, and it's CAD, so it's quite heavy in number of polygons. So yeah, let's see how it looks on the desktop and how good this was done. So if we go on, I think it's image 1, isn't it? There you go. So image 1, we have some nice environment. Yeah, I wish we could do better with these transitions in here. For example, I just saw them, but I'm not going to waste your time for rectifying this. You understand the idea and you learned already how to do this. But if we look in here closely, there are some things that are not necessarily very good. Because it's CAD, the surfaces are approximated in this way. I'm not sure if it is not maximum lighting, if we wouldn't do it like that. Let's try, let's see. If it's not, can we actually do it? So start export on desktop. Okay. I think I need to select all this first, yeah. No maximum lighting. Refinement. So I think it's because of the refinement. So if we try with the medium refinement, we may be able to get rid of those um, small patterns. And from my experience, those are coming from how the mesh is approximated. So it's really dependent on that. Let me see. So if we go on to the desktop and we go on to image 00 something, 100 something, yeah, there you go. So less refinement, you will have less visible patterns onto glancing angles from the camera for the light. But I do like those patterns. You tell me what you think. You like them or you don't like them? How about leaving me a few comments in the comment section in the um, on my channel. But as an idea, this is this is the render, and it is looking quite cool for about 1 hour from the beginning till the end. And having CAD and being able to do everything in real time, in my perspective, this is really, really awesome. Well, next time we can maybe make a few adjustments, refinement, and do a few cool shots, or maybe do a video with this. And and with the symmetrical earphones. And that would be the end of everything about these earbuds. But I do hope that if all this is very useful for you. I am very confident that this is very useful for you, given the fact that I didn't see videos discussing about how to render CAD using Twinmotion. And please like and subscribe. It does help me a lot to have users on my channel. So if it's not too much to ask, please subscribe to my channel. And I shall continue and I will wait for your feedback. Until then, I hope you have a nice evening or a nice day if you start your morning somewhere on the other side of Earth. And see you soon. Goodbye.